All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Anderson for Keller Community College with part 3 of the Practice 2 test. And what we're going to look at here is, I'll just want to say straight up, problems 12 and problems 14 should have had a graph, and they did not come out when I printed this off and finalized this, so I apologize for not having a graph to plot these, because it says, for the equation, find the slope, then graph. Well, guess what? No graph, but we'll make a quick sketch here for that. But take a look at this. This is an equation that has more than one y in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the y's to the left-hand side. So the y's will be all by themselves. We'll move the x's to the right, so that will give us our slope. And then we'll have our y-intercept with whatever numbers are left over there. So what I'm going to do is move this y to the left-hand side by adding 3y to both sides. Okay, so what we have here is 3 plus negative 2y and 3y is 1y, and that's equal to 2x, because the 3y is simplified to 0. And we're going to subtract 3 from both sides, so y is equal to 2x minus 3. So there's my equation. So if I have a graph, which I will provide one on the exam, y equals 2x minus 3. This starts at negative 3. That's my y-intercept at 0, comma, negative 3. And then we're going to go from here up to and over 1. There we go. And from that dot, we'll go up to and over 1. And there, my friends, is the actual equation for the problem. And the graph for it, too. So there you go. Sorry about not having the graph on there. Now let's take a look at problem 13. A real puzzler for a lot of us here. And it really tests to see if you know your vocabulary. Or, more importantly, know your notation. Now, for each of these pictures, we want f of 1, the domain, and the x values for which f of x is negative, x of x is positive 2, and the range. So what we mean of f of 1, we want to know when x is 1, what is the function's value. So when x is 1, what is the function's value? Now here, that would be this location right there, and that would be at negative 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is negative 4. Or you could put the ordered pair of 1 comma negative 4. But that's what f of 1 is equal to. Now let's take a look at it over here. I'm going to take each of these, side by side. So let's take a look at this picture over here. So f of 1 is looking where x is 1. So I move up to the line and see how tall that is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units tall. So over here, my f of 1 is equal to 5. All right. Now, I asked for the domain here, and the domain, I didn't give a lot of room, so I apologize for that. But the domain is really from my left to my right. That's what domain really is. So from my furthest left of the equation to my furthest right of the equation, the furthest left I went is negative 4, and the furthest right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my x, this is my little Alfred Hitchcock parentheses there, x knocking on the door, I'm going to go from negative 4 to positive 5. Now you'll notice that the way I have to write this is x is between these two numbers. So this exists between negative 4 and positive 5. Now you'll notice that this is an open circle, which means it doesn't actually connect to the negative 4, but it does connect to the positive 5. So this does actually get a line underneath it. Now we're going to do the same thing over here from our furthest left to my furthest right of this equation. So my furthest left is negative 3. And my furthest right is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there we go. So x is between the negative 3 and 5. And it connects to the negative 3, but does not connect to the positive 5. All right, now this one's a little funkier here. This is when, what values, this part C is f of x equals 2. What this really means is what values of x are what is the value of x when my equation is at 2? So I'm going to go to 2 on my y and then go look for my x value and look when my y is at, oops, I went to the wrong y. Sorry about that. I'm going to go to my y at positive 2 here, and I'm going to go over to the line, and I can see that, oh, look over there. It looks like my answer here is going to be where my it looks like I'm going to be all the way over where x is equal to 4 when my y is at 2. So my f of 4 is at 2. Or you could just write the answer, the 4. I would accept that as well. So I'm going to do the same thing over here for my f of x equals 2. I'm going to look where my y is 2, and I'm going to go over to the line, and I see coincidentally it's the same answer, but just want to show you that there. Or again, I would accept the answer of just 4, because really this is asking what value of x is going to give me a y of 2. All right, now for my range, which is my y values. Now range is another way of saying instead of left to right, it's my down or my lowest point to my up on the graph here. And you'll notice that my y, the lowest it is right there at this spot. That's the lowest it goes. And that's going to be at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be at negative 5. And my highest spot is, you know, this little line right here at 1, 2, 3, 4. So my y goes between the negative 5 and the 4. You'll notice that it actually connects with the negative 5, so it's a less than or equal to sign. And it connects with the 4, which is a less than or equal to sign there as well. Wait, did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hey, looks like on my, yeah, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it looks like I miscounted on the answer key. So it should be negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not negative 6. So apologize there. You're going to want to make a note on the answer key that that is negative 6 on the answer key, but it should be negative 5. Okay, let's do the range here. So we're going to go, the lowest point is 0 right there. And my highest point is way up here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go between my 0 and 5, and we do not touch it at 0, but we do touch it at 5. There we go. So between 0 and 5. Rock on. Okay, so now we get to our final two problems. Let's go take a look here. So we're going to look at another problem. This is like problem number 12. And again, I forgot to write my graph there. So let's do a little distribution and see what we got here. And I'm going to distribute this and this. So this gives me, my left side stays exactly the same. My right side becomes negative 2y plus 2x plus 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like in the last problem, I'm going to move my y's over to one side, move my x's over to the other, and so I can get the equation in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so I'm going to add my 2y to this side here. Okay, add my 2y. So now I have 2x minus 2y is equal to 2x plus 2. All right, now I'm going to subtract my 2x from both sides. All right, so that gives me 0 over here. Negative 2y is equal to, oh, wow, look, that's gone. Negative 2y is equal to 2. If I divide both sides by negative 2, I get the answer of y equals negative 1. Now, here's a pop quiz. Is my slope undefined? And the answer is no. The slope is 0, in fact, because the equation y equals negative 1 is a horizontal line. This is the equation of y equals negative 1. So in this case, my x is simplified to 0 or canceled out, and now all I have left is y. So I have a horizontal line. If my y's canceled out, I would have a vertical line. And you've had a couple of those problems in sections 2.4 and 2.5, so you may want to go back and take a look at that. For our final problem of this page, find the intercepts. Now, it is possible for you to solve for y here, but I'm going to take a different approach, and I think this is a smart approach when we look at the intercept method, and here's what I mean. I'm going to plug in 0 for x. And what I'm going to get when I multiply 8 times 0, I get nothing. So what I'm left with is negative 4y is equal to negative 16. If I divide both sides by negative 4, I get y is equal to positive 4. So there's my there's my y-intercept, 0, 4. Now, if you didn't know that was a y-intercept, just plot the point, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, look, that's the y-intercept, so I put it right there. Now I'm going to plug 0 in for my y. Now, if I do that, negative 4 times 0 is just 0, so I'm left with 8x is equal to negative 16. Divide both sides by 8. X is equal to negative 2. All right, so negative 2 comma 0 is negative, hold on. Negative 2 comma 0. There's my x-intercept. And then, ba-bam. Now, it says use a third point as a check. Now, I'm not going to be checking on your test to see if you do this. I mean, if you trust your values here, be my guest and just connect the lines and say, okay, I'm good. But what I would do maybe is check a point. Like maybe I'll check for the point in between these two here. So I'm going to check -1 on my x. Now, if I do that, let me actually type that in or put that into the equation. So -8, that's plugging my -1 in for x, minus 4y equals -16. Well, let's kind of do these values and hope I get an answer of 2 here. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I get -4y is equal to -8. Oh, look, divide by -4. X is equal, or y is equal to +2, which happens to be this point right there. So at -1, I'm at 2. Hey, it matches. So that third point is a great check, and you might as well check your homework or check your test if you've got some time here by putting a third point in. Well, thank you very much for watching this third video of 5. Video number 4 is going to be a long one, but you'll be rewarded with video number 5, which is pretty short. All right, thank you.